Alright guys, so I'm actually going to give y'all a quick tutorial on how to create sprites that make it look like the player's going through them. I'm also going to show you how this camera script works. So this is actually a really simple setup. I'm going to go into scenes. We have action block 1, so I actually need to add all of these to the scene. I'm going to click on transition point. This goes to just regular action block. Okay, so let me go to build settings. I'm going to click on all three of these. I'm going to just add them real quick. So let me go ahead and go into action block. So the way that this is set up, we have the destination. We do not have the transition. We need a transition. It is very important that we have that. Additionally, we also want to go into the metric scene, and we actually just want to copy this image right here. So inside of canvas, we're going to paste. Let's drag this into the canvas. And let's go ahead and do this to all of them. I actually need to check these out real quick. So let me do that. Go into scene, action block, check out. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and just add these into all the scenes real quick. Action block 2, we will save. Paste that in there. Drag that into the canvas. Let's go into action block 3. Let's go ahead and save this. Paste that here and add that to the canvas. So the thing that we are actually missing is the transition. It's extremely important that we have that. Otherwise, there's nothing for it to call. So let's go into prefabs real quick. And I'm just going to take this transition point and drag it in here. Or actually, let me go ahead and go into scenes. And let me go to metric scene. I'm going to save this. And I'm going to copy this transition point, go into action block, and just drop it in here. So we have the transition game object, which is the player. And where do we want the player to go? Let's go ahead and take a look at this real quick. So these are actually doors that... How are these... Oh, that's where the transition points are. Okay. So then, no, we do not need that. We do need to type in transition point. I'm going to select both of these. I'm going to come up here. I'm going to drag the image right here where it says none animator. And then for the FS, that's basically just taking this and already has that in there. So as long as we drag the image to where it says animator, we're good. And let's go ahead and enable that image again. Let's go ahead and hit play. We should see that this now works. So we start off there. Let's go through that door. That's beautiful. Come back through this door. That is great. Now, the only thing is we need to set the destination points up properly. But as you can see, these are working. It didn't work for the other one because we don't have that in the place yet. But for the destination points, we only have one destination here. We actually need two of them. Just need to be careful where we put it. So right now we just have the doors, but that's something we can work on later. For now, I'm going to go into Creator. We're going to go to File, New. I'm going to go and set the width of this by, say, 256, and the height can be 512. That is fine. Let's go to Create. And as always, bright green, because it's something that's easy to see. Where's my paint tool? Paint that in real quick. And I'm just going to go ahead and do this real quickly. So this needs to be a size. Well, first I need the right brush. Man, that dog is annoying. I wish she would shut up. Okay, so the way I'm going to do this is I'm actually just going to create some simple... I really don't want to do it that way. If that dog would shut up, that would be perfect. I'll be right back, you guys. Alright, so I think 512 is actually a bit much, and all I did was just take my dog outside. I didn't do anything special. So let's go to Image. We'll resize Canvas. And we're actually going to subtract 128 from this. And I'm actually doing this by very specific numbers. So if we take 512 minus 128, we get 384, and that's what my height will be, 384. So this is definitely a lot better. So I'm just going to drag this over here. And then I'm actually going to duplicate it. Just move it over here. Now this part is kind of important. I'm actually going to come over here and add this in here real fast. So this will give it more of a 3D look. The bottom will stay the same. And there we go. We go ahead and merge these two layers because these are going to be my representations. So I'm trying to think how to explain this. The player is going to come in front of this. So let's just do that real quick, and then this will be kind of flat, I guess. I know it's kind of like confusing to see all these lines and everything, so let's go ahead and start coloring some of these in just so we know exactly what we're looking at. I'm going to click in this area. I'm going to go to select. Let's go ahead and grow the selection by 2. And I'm going to click on this tool. Let's go with a kind of rocky color. Let's go a little bit darker. A little bit darker. I know I'm going to the turd brown. And now this is where we want to actually kind of like increase the size. We're just going to slap a couple of these textures in here. Real simple. So now we're going to do the same over here. We're going to go to layer, and we're going to, or select, grow selection by 2. And we're basically just going to do the same thing. So I'm going to go with that color, that color, that color, turd brown, and now we just kind of slap that color on it. There we go. So now it comes down to, well, what about this? Well, what about it? We're going to go ahead and do the same thing we've been doing. We can actually just come to the square tool and do something like this. It helps if I unselect that. So let's come to the square tool, do something like this. There we go. Man, I'm tired, guys. I really am. Come to the square tool, do something like this. And if you notice, I'm making this a lot thinner. That's actually kind of important also. Now I could just take this over here and slap it over here. The way we do that is just simply drag and select, Control CV. We just bring that over here. Let's go ahead and move this down underneath. We'll go to our transformation tool. I'm actually going to want that right about here. I'm just going to drag up. I'm trying not to drag this too much because we will get distortion if we drag it too much. So I'm trying to drag it as little as possible. Let's press enter. There we go. And then we can do the same with this one. So we'll just select it. And let's click on this, Control CV. Move this over here. And I'm actually going to bring it up over here. So let's go ahead and transform it real quick. Bring it up to its maximum size. Press enter. So now we have this right here, which we actually need to get rid of. So we're going to select in here, delete. And we will come right here. I'm actually going to move this under here. And then click off of that. Let's go to the eraser tool. And I'm just going to erase that little bit up there. Now we also have these over here, which that is fine. Can definitely still do that, not a problem. I just don't like the top right now, but for now it can stay. I'll let it live. Alright, so let's go to select, grow, 2. I'm going to click on this tool and add that in there as well. So now we're going to come over here, select this, go back to the browns, slap that in there, slap that in there, slap that in there. I'm just alternating in between. That's all I am doing. So now I'm going to go back to the light brown so this way it kind of matches. So here is our archway. This is what we'll use for the player checkpoint. So let's go ahead and merge all these layers. And you might be wondering, well, how does this even work? Well, I'm going to show you. If I take this and I hit Control CV and then I go to click back on this layer that's been merged. Let me go to select. I can also just delete this too, but I'm going to go to select. I'm going to invert selection, Control CV. I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to turn that off. So we don't have a seam or anything like that. So I'm going to hit Control Shift S, and this will be checkpoint outer. I did not mean to save that as a Krita document. Let's change this to PNG real quick. Switch these, Control Shift S, and this one will be. You know, if I could select this would just be awesome. Enter. Okie dokie. So, we get to learn about sorting layers. Sorting layers are really simple to use. I'm just going to do it in the metric scene. Seem to be pretty good at that. So I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to come up to sprites. No, that's not sprites. This is sprites. And where did I actually save that to? I swear I saved. You know, I bet I saved it in textures. I saved it in textures. Okay, that was my bad, you guys. Let's go and bring this up here. Let's go into sprites. We're going to select both of these, and we're going to move these to level sprites. And then let's go and switch this to Sprite 2D UI. Apply. We're actually going to, let's see, does not have, okay, that's fine. So for the checkpoint, I'm going to show you the way you need to create it. We're going to create an empty game object. This will be called checkpoint. And then we'll have an inner, and we'll have an outer. So we have this now, and this looks like the same thing I just did. Well, that doesn't really help us, Jimmy, because a player still goes in front of both of them. Give me a second. Okay, so we have the checkpoint. We're actually going to want to add a box collider 2D. And let's go ahead and change the shape of it. Let me move the... Where the hell is it at? Ah, there it is. Okay, so this is actually kind of a problem because the checkpoint did not zero like it was supposed to. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Take both of these because these are zeroed. Move those in there. Then we'll click back on this. This is close to where it needs to be. I'm actually just going to move it like so. That up. Okay, so the point of this is if the player's in between, we don't want her to be able to jump through it. That won't look right. So for the inner, the sorting layer will be, say, -1 or -10, whatever you want to make it. And the outer, we'll just set this to 10. So when we hit play and we interact with it, you should see... Okay, what is the player set to? Set to 5. Well, it's definitely working in the scene view, but it's not working in the... Let's set it to 20. Oh, wait, I know what it is. I know exactly what it is. So, I'm going to select both of these. I'm going to come to materials, question mark. Nope, not materials. Where did I... Easy way of fixing this. Let me just come down here. Oh, well, I need to turn the player health back on. There we go. Do I have the metric scene checked out? Probably not. I need to check those out. So I'm going to check those out. Okie dokie. And is what we're going to do is we're then going to click on the player, which we have already done. We're going to go here, and we're going to select material. So here's our material for this. We will then click back on both of these. Just drag that in there. So that should fix the issue we are having. Should. Not saying it will. Not saying it will. I'm just saying it should. So I don't understand that. She does it inside this, but she's not doing it in here. So I'm actually going to click on the outer. What happens if I bring it? No. Why is it not? Because that's set to layer 1. Okay, guys, I'm not gonna lie. I'm actually kind of confused on this because this should. So it does it in the scene view, but it doesn't do it right here. That shouldn't matter at all. Unless it's the cameras. Because it's doing what I want to do in the other. No, we don't need occlusion calling for this. Set this to orthographic. And I am legitimately confused on this, you guys. I'm not gonna lie. Because it's doing what we want to do here in the scene view, but it's not doing it what we want to do in the camera view. This isn't rendering the it shouldn't matter, I don't think. Yeah, so that shouldn't matter. Oh wait, this isn't. I know why now. Okay, I know exactly why. Okay, so what's going on here is we don't see it in the camera preview. And the reason why, because if we click on player, this layer is set to sprites. So we actually need to set this to sprites as well. Yes, change children, and there we go. So that's what was going on. Totally forgot about that. Okay, there we go. So that's working. It actually hides her whenever she goes behind it. And this gives it more of a 3D look. So there we go. That's fixed. And her light also interacts with it. So that's excellent. If we try to jump, we cannot jump. We can jump over it, but we cannot jump through it. So that works. I'm actually going to change this to ground. There we go. I'm going to add it as a prefab. And that will be it. So that's going to be it for this tutorial. I'm going to try and get both these videos uploaded so you'll have them, and I shall see y'all later.